All right. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you. This is episode number 10. Uh, I know my numbers have gone steadily declined, but I just want to say thank you to all the people who actually listen. Uh, there's been a decline in my viewing numbers, but the decline has been steady, so I have a steady amount of people watching me, and I just want to say thank you to those of you who do watch. Um, it shows that I now have a fan base. I don't want to call you guys fans, but people who listen to me. I now have a group of people who are listening. That's got to count for something, right? All right, man. Let's get into this shit, man. Let's get into it. Hey, it's my vibe, man. We'll get into females later because I've had enough of y'all. Jesus Christ. It's not worth it, babe. Hey, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between to the Case Study Podcast. It's my pleasure to introduce this shit to y'all every single week. Y'all don't even know. It's my pleasure. I'm your host, Isaias Hernandez. And to be honest, man, I'm just here to give you guys a good time. That's all I'm here to do. So let's talk about some shit. Let's do it. Alright. Woo! It's a beautiful Jersey night, man. Beautiful Jersey night. Don't waste it. Let's go. This shit got me in some type of mood, yo. What y'all know about this? What y'all know about the young emotional? Alright, let's go. Let me stop fucking around here. Alright. Let me stop before YouTube kicks my ass. Alright, enough. Let's get into it, man. Let's talk about some shit. Let's talk about it. Alright, so this week it resurfaced. Huge topic. I guess I'll talk about it. I talked about it like at the very beginning of my when I first started the podcast. I touched on it. I talked about it a little bit. And it's only right that on the number 10, the 10th episode, I bring it up again. At the when this podcast released, and same goes for the recording, there has not been a set the sentencing to Takashi 6ix9ine has not been announced just yet. It hasn't been, the judge hasn't ruled on it yet. It hasn't been released. With that being said, there has been a lot of talks and stuff, caricature letters have come out, a whole bunch of other shit, a whole bunch of other slew of information through the most reliable of sources, TMZ, has been reported. And I just bring this topic up to say, to just reaffirm my stance on this topic. I don't think it's real. I don't think not one part of this shit is real. It just seems too fabricated for a person who was fearing of their life, and the reason he got locked up was because of the fear of his life, is now not gonna accept witness protection. Alright, I guess. I mean, there's not really much else to say here. If you read the letters, they're kind of funny. There's two of them. There's one from Takashi and there's one from his girlfriend, and it's the only thing that's noticeable about these two letters, and I read them both, unfortunately, and you could tell that they're not written by them. They use big, like, 3-syllable words. I've never heard Takashi say a 3-syllable word before. Or his girlfriend. I don't think I've heard his girlfriend say a 2-syllable word before. They use like big words. It wasn't written by them. And they're full of shit, by the way. Because Tekashi 6ix9ine was calling hits on people. And like ordering people to shoot shit up. But whatever, I'm not gonna talk about it further. That's really all I wanted to say, man. I'm gonna make a prediction actually now. At most, at the worst case scenario, he's getting 2 to 3 years. I'll extend it to 2 to 5, but 5 is definitely not happening. 2 to 3 years. Worst case scenario, 2 to 3 years he gets locked up in prison. Best case scenario, he's home by Christmas. I just don't think it's real though. So you're asking a person who really doesn't really give a fuck about this. Sorry. All right, moving on. That's enough of that. I wanted to talk about so if you guys don't know, if you guys don't follow hip hop as closely as I do, or follow hip hop at all, because it's pretty well known at this point, Chance the Rapper dropped a complete dog shit album over this past summer, I think it was late summer. It was called The Big Day, and he was scheduled to have this tour. It was called The Big Tour, I think, or some shit like that. And he just now recently ended up canceling that tour, and then said that there was too much miscommunication between his team, and there was just a whole bunch of other factors that played into him. And then he said that he wanted to focus on making the best music, and that he wanted to focus on time with his kids. I'm never gonna take that away from someone. The focusing on your kid part or music, because that is your profession. But something seems a little off. Doesn't something seem a little off to you? As big as an artist that Chance is, you gotta understand that this is the way he makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of money doing these shows and these tours. Now, granted, I know people will say that it's not all about the money and XYZ, blah, 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 blah. They're not he doesn't care about the money, whatever else. It's still pretty good motivation to do the shows, though. Something is off about this. If you're asking me personally, I don't think the music was good enough to warrant a tour as big as the one he was playing. He was planning a pretty fucking big tour. I think his sell numbers flopped, and again, this is all speculation. I think his sell numbers flopped, and part of the reason of that is because of the subpar music that he dropped. It just wasn't good music, quality music. I don't think enough people would go pay to see him perform that fucking music. It just wasn't good enough for that. So yes, Chance, I do support you. Don't fucking tour this album because it fucking sucked. And go make better music. Go make the music that made you famous, which was good music. Dog, come on. Get your head in the game. Alright, man. Alright. Staying with music. I'm gonna talk about this. I want to talk about Mariah Carey for a little bit. Now, you might be wondering, like, why would a person like me be bringing up Mariah Carey's name? So, I think she's made the most successful song ever. Is it obscene, especially in this day and age where you can just go on your phone and fucking click just look up a song and then click that song? I think Mariah Carey made the most successful song ever. There will not be one Christmas for the next 5 years that won't have that song at number one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Mariah's Carey Christmas Carol, whatever that song is called, I'm blanking on the name. That song this week peaked at the number one billboards. She has made the most successful song ever. Every single time this time of year comes around, that song will be number one for the next at least 5 years, at the very least. You name me another song that's doing that. Congrats, Mariah Carey. That's fucking insane. That's talent for you. That is... I can't think of another song that has the capabilities of doing that. I'm not talking about the quality. I'm not talking about anything else other than its success and what its numbers can do. I'm strictly talking about numbers here. Because when them numbers generates, so do them checks. She's getting a fat ass check every single time this time of year comes around. Because she made a hit. She made a seasonal hit. And it'll never get old. All I want for Christmas is you. That shit'll never get old. She made the most successful song ever. And Jesus, man. You try to name me another song that's doing the numbers that she does every single year. Every single year. Not even if we weren't in this era where you could just look up a song and click it and then stream it on your phone. I think that it would still hold true. I think because back in the day, you would have to go to shops and like actually buy the fucking thing, and then you were radio dependent, and that would warrant you to have connections and relationships. Mariah Carey's Mariah Carey. She's getting radio plays, no questions asked. Number one. Number two, I think there are enough people in this world that would buy that CD for this time of year only, buy her CD, buy that single, just for this time only. This time of year. It's insane. She did it. She made a hit, but not just a hit. She made a mega hit. I would love for someone to give me another song that would put comparable numbers up to that, to her single. Every single year, year in and year out. It's mind-blowing to see. And it's to be expected now. I saw it, I was like, whatever. I didn't really think about it until I thought about it. It's insane. Congrats, Mariah Carey. That's all I wanted to say. Congrats. Alright, some pretty big news happened, and I know a lot of people won't really find this as huge news, but you gotta understand, as a person who loves and indulges in hip hop, you begin to see you begin to cherish the people who make it into their old age. Me as a student of hip hop, and I fucking hate that I just said that about myself and I called myself that. I went back and listened to 90s projects and 90s music, and I could sit here and talk about how great it was. But one thing that a lot of these artists have is that they don't live for very long. They often end up passing, and a lot of them passed before I started listening to music in 2012, I think. 2010 was when I listened to my first hip hop album in its entirety, but 2012 was when I really started to indulge in hip hop. So you see that 2012, like a lot of legends at that point had passed. So you go and you listen to music, and you listen to this music, and then you want more, but then you find out, you go on the internet, that it's passed. And then this is a perspective of mine. Or you go to the music and it's not the same quality of music, just because Father Time catches up with the people. But I'm more so talking about the people who are deceased, unfortunately. And you look up stories and information on these people, because you didn't live through that time and you don't know what their impact was like. And you find out that they died at a young age. 20s, 30s, some luckily in their 40s. And I'm saying all this to say that Diddy and Jay-Z, by the way, that Diddy had his 50th birthday this past weekend. And he had a party, and it was huge, and it was all over social media. Congratulations. The background that these cats have growing up, and then finding a source where they can express themselves, not only to an audience that will listen, but get money from another audience. The big companies. Diddy could walk into a room and be and just because his name merits the merits on his name alone, he could get anything in their room. He could request anything in that room and he'll get it. Same with Hov, with fucking JayZ. These are legends, and they've transcended legends in hip hop. They're not just, they're faces of shit much bigger than hip hop. And it's so refreshing to see coming from the hip hop community, because I do identify with the hip hop community. You see other legends, they're older, they're stuck in their ways, man. They seem regressed. They're not really they're not at the same level as a JayZ, as a Diddy. We talk about Kanye. I wouldn't put him in the same breath as JayZ or Diddy. Business wise, music wise, that's a different story. But business wise, relationship wise, no. I don't think Kanye holds comparable power to JayZ is standing in a business room. Don't see it. Now, Kanye has made great business ventures, don't get me wrong, but he can't compare to Diddy and to Jay, I don't think. His mind doesn't allow him to. He's a creative. He's a creative by nature. Other big time acts that are older now, Eminem, I would even throw in that discussion. He's focused on music. Now, granted, his music hasn't been the greatest these past few projects, but I would put him in that same fucking conversation. I'd say that he doesn't hold a candle to fucking Diddy and JayZ business wise either. It's just crazy. I don't think they're just different. They're different type of there are different types of minds. We should appreciate and we should recognize before it's too late. Congratulations on both of them turning 50 this year. What? 50 years old in hip hop? That's unheard of. It's unheard of. It's amazing. Hopefully we see more legends get to that age. Okay, so talking from the older generation, I want to come back down and talk about a younger generational person, a younger generation rapper. Rowdy Rich dropped a good album this past not this weekend but the last weekend. It's called Please Excuse My Antisocial or some shit like that. Please excuse my something like that. It's not important. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the album. It was a good album. Solid project. But I'm more so here to talk about his interview. He had an interview with a radio station, and they were discussing, I watched parts of it, and he was discussing how, and I wanted to talk about this because I think more people in the community should be like this, in the hip-hop community. He was like, I once turned down $100,000 for a feature because I feel like that shit will be oversaturated, and he doesn't want to get oversaturated, and that was basically the gist of it. He doesn't want to be oversaturated. He doesn't want to be in a forced environment to try to get a quick bag, because he don't give a fuck about the money, and when it comes to music, he wants to make the best type of music. That's the type of people we need in hip-hop. That is exactly the type of people that I want to listen from. I want to listen to music from. That person, that exact person. The person who puts his best foot forward. He might not be the best rapper. He might not be the best technical. He might not be the best lyrical. He might not have the best pen game. It doesn't matter. He might not have the best beat selection even. Hell, we can get further and deeper. But if you focus on making a good quality project, a good quality product, success will find you. I'm a firm believer in that too. I heard this quote this past weekend from another podcast that said talent never asks to be seen or heard. What a quote. That's so fucking true. If talent just be talent, it will be seen and heard. You don't gotta fucking promote it or oversaturate it in the market. People will find it because they'll say, hey, that's good. And they'll tell their friend, hey, yo, that's good. It's simple as that. You don't gotta force shit. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here. Don't force shit. And that's exactly what Rowdy Rich said in his interview. He doesn't want to force shit. I applaud people who have the conviction to stand on their own shit, on their merit. Not afraid to say shit like that. Because they're scared of the negativity that'll come with it. Nah, stand on it. Stand on that ledge. I fuck with it. Alright. Last fucking hip hop. I know this has been a fucking hip hop heavy podcast. And I don't want it to become a hip hop podcast, by the way. But I touched on it briefly. Excuse me. I touched on it briefly last week. Not briefly, but I did talk about it. It was Lizzo and her antics at the basketball game, sitting bare ass cheeked, double cheeked up, bare ass on a fucking at a fucking basketball game. It was a Lakers game. So this past week, another video surfaced of Lizzo trying to stand up on a table, and she was wearing some. And I'm not even talking about the clothes here because again, it looked like a setting where people were dressed nice, and she had this fucking one piece. I don't know what it was. It was a one piece body thing, and it was just her ass cheeks were out again. But I'm not really concerned about that no more. The internets will make jokes, and that's fine. That's all fine. She got up on the table. She tried to get up on the table while she was singing, and then she fucking bust her ass right on the table. Once again, it's all funny. It's all fun and games to make jokes and poke fun. But I ask once again to the people who are around her and care about her, is everything okay? We love to make jokes about certain types of shit, and again, because it's the internet, and then everyone wants to hop in. She's exhibiting qualities of someone who needs attention. I touched on it last week. I touched on it last week, but I think I have to reaffirm the point because I was making jokes last week. I think I want to get a little bit more serious this week. Is she alright? It looks like, and again, I'm speaking with someone with no outside information other than these two videos, but it looks like she's. I want to say this is how she expresses her bouts of insecurity, with moments like these, because she looks fucking insane. And the internet takes these moments, these little clips, these moments, and they run with it. And then you become hated in the public eye. That might not be important to her, and fuck, she might not even care about it. I'm just asking for her well-being. Because yes, attention seeking is it's a symptom. I mean, it's a symptom of a multitude of other mental health problems. One of them being insecurity. And she might be projecting is all. And man, hopefully the people in her corner can find out what she's doing it. And I know because the overtone of the entire message is the body positive, excuse me, the body positive message of you shouldn't be ashamed to show your body and all that. It's a sensitive topic to touch with her, but someone that's close to her and that has her back for real should be asking these questions. Cause she looks nuts. She looks fucking insane. She might not even be able to clearly see how fucking insane she looks right now. Because it's crazy. I'm asking seriously. Is she alright? And that's all, man. I'll move on. I'll move on from that. There was a lot of fucking hip-hop music shit to talk about this week. I'm not even gonna lie. It kind of took the fun out of everything. I wasn't expecting to come in here and fucking bash you guys with hip-hop news. Anyway, let's talk about some more important and pressing shit. It's about to be 2020, and the Democratic Party does not yet have a solid candidate to represent. Primaries are about to come up. And boy, I'm scared. I'm scared because it's looking like a real possibility that Trump will get reelected again. And that's not really scary. That's not the scary part. It's just, I guess the scary part comes when talking about politics, the scary part comes with what his presidency and his term has implemented in politics as a whole. Politics has now become a game of shouting and screaming. And that is translated to the Democratic side more than the Republican side, unfortunately. And that might just be because Donald Trump is president and he's planning to run again. But the Democratic Party looks nuts. They look insane. And that's all I really got to say on that. There's not a formidable running candidate right now. There isn't. Not only say that to say Trump might get reelected. Alright. I'm done with serious shit, man. Okay. So I saw this thing online on Twitter where there's a conspiracy going around now. It's an actual conspiracy that has been picked up by Twitter, and it's a conspiracy that dinosaurs weren't a real thing. The conspiracy consists of a lot of people claiming that scientists used bones and to sell them and then to profit to companies and corporations, and that they made these bones basically. And they were like, there's a whole bunch of evidence that like we hadn't found a dinosaur bones since until like the 19th century or some shit like that. Basically, they're saying that dinosaurs weren't real. Listen, man. You know there's this thing called science that kind of disproves a lot of theories that people have and confirms a lot of theories that other people have. Like, jet fuel didn't melt the steel beams of 9/11. I won't get into that right now. But science is a funny thing, man, because you can't fake science. Science is all 100% fact based. Not only is there confirmation on, you can confirm anything that is science based. You fucking idiot dweebs. No, skeleton bones aren't hollow. Who told you that? No, skeleton bones weren't found in the fucking was it 19th century? You know where Chinese people the Chinese. Let me not say Chinese people. You know where the Chinese got the fucking their ritual, their dragon rituals, by discovering, they thought that the bones of dinosaurs were like the huge bones of dinosaurs. They discovered them and they thought they were dragons. That's why their culture implements dragons so much. I can't stand some of y'all. This started off as a joke because some famous person said it in passing, and they didn't really have anything to confirm it, and now it's like an actual thing. Can you guys stop being fucking idiots for like 1 second? Before this famous person, and I apologize, I don't know who the famous person is. Before this famous person said that, oh, dinosaurs aren't real, I don't believe dinosaurs aren't a thing. Now there's a whole bunch of fucking sources and everything confirming what the person said. Yeah. I'm not buying it. I'm not believing it. Come on, man. Do better, Twitter. It's just a whole bunch of fucking trolls. Yes, there's evidence of the fucking meteor. It has a name. The site where the meteor crashed, where the alleged meteor crashed. There's a name to it. Jesus, man. I can't. Sometimes I can't stand the internet, man. Alright. Before I head out, I want to talk about this quick point. I'm sick and tired of girls. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I'm wiping my hands clean of women in 2020. And I'll tell you why. I'll give you the exact reason why. I was having a conversation with a female friend of mine. She's a close friend, and we were talking about how the different opposite sexes, how we flirt with each other in public. And get this, I'm new to this. Maybe because I don't pay enough attention out in fucking public to really care about anyone else, but apparently women flirt in public by looking at you. But that's not the craziest part. Listen to this. Women flirt with you in public by not looking at you as well. So there's some women who will look at you and think that's a sign for you to go talk to them. There's some women who won't look at you and say that's a sign for you to go talk to them. There's some women that will look at you once and then say that's a sign to go talk to you. I'm done. I fucking give up. Because how can you tell what type of girl is what? You know how much it irritates me. It makes my head hurt whenever I talk about women. Because I can never and maybe that's all me. That's my fault for trying to understand. Because maybe men aren't supposed to understand women in that weird way. But whatever, man. I give up. Even that fucking explanation made my head hurt. I'm done, man. I give up. I throw my hands in the air. If they think, I don't even like talking to women in public, especially a stranger woman, a stranger person. Mainly because I feel like they have a lot to deal with as is. And again, that's a whole nother conversation, whatever. But I'm getting out of here, man. It's been a fucking good podcast. There's nothing else to talk about. I'm getting out of here. I gotta go eat. I'm hungry as fuck. I'm done with girls. I am. They can't do anything directly. Fuck you. Alright, man. Let me find a song to take us out. I started with R&B, right? So, let me take us out with some fucking... With some... Yup, with some hip-hop. Alright, man. It's been a good one. We got another one done. Alright. Alright, man. I'm getting out of here. I got shit to do. Stay safe. Be safe. Remember, your life can change with a phone call. So make the most of it. Alright? Come on, man. Y'all don't know what it's like to fucking be dubbed by a girl in public. Y'all don't know what that fucking feels like. Fuck y'all woman, yo. I'm out of here. I promise I'll be here next week. Let's go. Alright, man.